Hey, what's up? So welcome to a new video. It is currently 8:57 p.m. on Thursday, January 18th.
June. It is June, not January. The fact that I didn't realize I said January is so funny.
I don't know what's going outside. I can't control that. But this video, you can tell from the title, we're gonna do a 24-hour readathon. Don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I'm gonna mess up my sleeping schedule, maybe not, because if we start, my plan was start at 9 p.m. tonight, which is obviously in 2 minutes, and then end tomorrow at 9 p.m. and then like that way I could just like immediately go to sleep like as soon as I finish, and then I'll have like it'll fix my sleeping schedule. But we'll see what happens. So we're doing 24 hours. What we're gonna do is the 24 hours straight sleeping. I don't know, probably will sleep like a little bit, or maybe I'll get a full 8 hours of sleep. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But I'm not pausing the timer or anything like that. I might pause it for like little short tiny breaks, but for the most part it's just gonna be running. So let's talk about what I'm gonna be reading. So let's start off with, I'm still in the middle of Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I am on page 352, chapter 43. So whatever I read from this book, I'm not gonna talk, like give you updates on like thoughts or anything, because I'm doing a separate reading vlog for Queen of Shadows, because I've been doing like separate reading Throne of Glass for the first time videos. So that's gonna be different videos. So all the updates I will give you if I read from this is page updates. So there's that. I'm also in the middle of The Beheading Game by Rebecca Lemon. I know my bookmark is not in the right spot. I have the audiobook, so I'm gonna let you know right now where I'm at. I stopped in the middle of a chapter. I'm in the middle of chapter 10, which is called Thomas Becket. But yeah, in the middle of chapter 10. I couldn't tell you what part I'm up to though. What page. So I'm gonna say around like the 99 page mark, around there. So this is just audiobook listening. So whenever like I want to do something that requires using my hands, audiobook. The Beheading Game. The other book I'm planning on reading, it is The House Sapphire by Marissa Meyer, the queen of fairy storytelling. This is a take on the Bluebeard fairy tale. Don't know anything about Bluebeard, to be completely honest. So I found a video on YouTube. It's 14 minutes. I get somebody like reading the story, so I'm gonna listen to that first before I start this, so I get a sense of what the story is about. So when I'm reading this, I can see like whatever I can tell, like the inspirations that Marissa Meyer took from the original Bluebeard tale, so I could compare. This, I believe I tried the other day and Libby had the audiobook available. I think I'm going to borrow that from the library from Libby, so I could do an immersive read. Also, what I was doing yesterday while I was reading Queen of Shadows was I had Toy Story playing in the background, just like background noise. So I might I watched the first two yesterday, so I might today do that again, just have number 3 and 4 playing in the background as background noise. So yeah, so this is what I'm planning on reading. We'll see how much of this I get done, or don't get done. That's my little introduction. Let's see what happens. It is now officially 9:03 p.m. So let's get this timer started. So we're gonna change the minutes to 0, right? That's how you do it. 23 hours, wait, what? No, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. I think that's how you do it. To make it 24 hours. And then let's press start. Did I pause it? No, I did not. Okay, and we're off. What the fuck? Okay, we're gonna do a little quick update. I'm on page 54. I'm on chapter 7. I needed to I don't know if you can see my mug. Anyways, it's 10:17 p.m. We have 22 hours, 47 minutes, and 5 seconds left on the clock. And I just want to do an update just because I didn't get a synopsis about what this is besides it being a Bluebeard retelling, reimagining. So we follow, where's the dust jacket? We follow Mallory, and basically she gives pretty like ghost tours of Bluebeard's estate. He's not called Bluebeard in this. It's like Monsieur something Bleu. So she gives tours of his estate, and we have a ghostie, which is his first wife. Oh, I used to like the jacket. His name is literally Monsieur Le Bleu. And then, okay, yeah, so we have a ghostie, which is his first wife, the first wife that he unalived. Her name is Trifine. She's hilarious. So our main character Mallory, she can see and speak to ghosts. And like, I'll give you like one example of how funny Trifine is, because while Mallory is giving a ghost tour, she's ignoring Trifine because she doesn't want people to know that she can see and talk to ghosts. So she's ignoring her. And then Trifine is like, she's basically like, how dare you ignore me? Like, you know that when I saw you last week, I had a cough. I wasn't doing well. You're not gonna ask me how I'm doing? Like, I literally had like a really bad cough, and I'm here like, girl, like, you're dead. What do you mean you had a cough? What do you mean you're sick? Found that hilarious. And then we also had this other character, Ansel. I want to say his name is Ansel. Axel. His name is Axel. And I'm not gonna say too much. I don't want to spoil anything, but we find out like a little backstory about, not backstory. Okay, well, we find out. I'm just gonna say we find out that he is related to Monsieur Le Bleu. So we have that, and then they're attacked by a monster. There's monsters in this as well, and that's pretty much where we're at. They were attacked by a monster, and they were like, we need to get the hell out of here. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But yeah, I'm finding this, I'm enjoying this so far. I want to see, I'm excited to see like what this story is gonna, like how it's gonna progress. I can already tell one difference from the original Bluebeard story, because from what the story that I listened to, it said that Bluebeard had no direct descendants, so like his last wife was able to keep everything. This, he did have an heir, so that's different. What can I say? But yeah, that's one difference that I can already tell. And the names being different. Well, obviously the guy's name is not Bluebeard. They just called him Bluebeard because he had a blue beard. And that Bluebeard story started wild already from the beginning. It was like, oh yeah, people didn't really, they were like, oh, they first of all, like, they made it seem like some people didn't want to marry him because he had a blue beard and was ugly. But then you find out that it was actually because he had been married multiple times, and then his wives died, and there was no explanation, and they were like, that's suspicious. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to this and see. Yeah, just that. I'm gonna get back into this. Hey, so stating the obvious, I changed back into the same clothes I had on last night. Anyways, it's 11:42 a.m. the next day, Friday, June 19th. And I have 14 hours left on the clock. So last night I did end up getting sleepy because yesterday I woke up at 9 a.m. So sleepiness hit me. I slept for like, at first, like without pausing the timer, I slept for like almost 30 minutes. And then I ended up getting the ebook. I read a little bit more like physically, and then I was like, okay, I think the ebook was also available, so then I got the ebook as well and got to bed and was just reading on my Kindle. Then I was falling asleep reading on my Kindle at like 1ish. So I was like, okay, let's go to sleep for like a few hours. I meant to wake up at 4 a.m. Did not hear their alarm at all. I ended up waking up at 6. Was it 6? Yes, it was 6. And that's when I started reading again. And now I just finished the first book, 11:43 a.m. I'm not gonna give a rating right now because I have to like sit on it for a bit, but yeah, I fairly enjoyed it. It was like a simple read, which Marissa Meyer books do tend to be a little bit more simplistic. So that's one of the reasons why I was like, oh, I think this would be a good book to read for our 24-hour readathon. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. There wasn't really anything that I didn't like, but it's not a 5-star. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, so first book done. Honestly, I can't believe I finished the book. My reading this year has been so sad. Anyways, yes, finished The House Sapphire. Now, what do I read next? I don't know. I am also so freaking hungry. I don't know if I want to read any more of Queen of Shadows right now. I think I also feel like I want to read like maybe like a romance or something a little bit more different than a fantasy. I don't know. I might, because I have to eat something. I might make something to eat and listen to a little bit more of the beheading game. Not sure, but this I know right now. Not right now. Romance wise, the only book I have physically that I haven't read yet is The Fiancé Dilemma by Elena Almas, but I don't know if I want to read that. So I'm gonna take like 5 minutes. I'm not gonna pause it anymore, the timer, because right now at this point the timer is gonna end at 1:55 a.m. because I slept for like 5-ish hours. So I'm not gonna pause it anymore. So there's that. But yeah, I'm gonna take maybe like 5 minutes, think about what I want to read next, and then I'll update you guys once I decide. It's 1:50 a.m. I technically, the next day, I technically have 4 minutes and 17 seconds left. But I've been reading Match Penalty by Kenna King, and the next chapter I'm on, it says it's gonna take 40 minutes to read, so I'm just gonna end it here. So cancel. That's gonna be the end of this. I got to page 270. I'm 86% into the book. I had started this book beforehand, but yeah, that's the end. This technically more than 24 hours, but I did sleep for like 5-ish hours. So I'm gonna do like a wrap up like talk about everything that I read at some other point. I'm gonna get ready for bed. Hey, I feel like I'm so close. Okay, so when did I finish this? Was it Saturday? Yes, technically Saturday night. It's currently Monday, June 22nd. It's 9:50 a.m. and I'm now finally filming the wrap-up for the 24-hour readathon. I'm gonna tell you guys like how many pages I read, the total, and thoughts on the books. I've only completely finished one book, so yeah. Anyway, so let's start off with the one book that I did finish, which is The House Sapphire by Marissa Meyer. I'm gonna give this a 3.75 stars. I feel like it was very close to being a 4-star. I really enjoyed the book, but it wasn't a 4-star. But it was more. It was definitely way more than a 3-star. I think it was just like super close to a 4-star. So a 3.75. So I read 420 pages of this book. I read the entire book in the 24 hours. Yeah, so there's that, The House Affair. And then throughout the day, just like listening to the audiobook, I read 32 pages of The Beheading Game by Rebecca Lehman. This book so far, so I'm now currently on page, wait, is that correct? Chapter 15. Yes. So I'm now currently on page 132. Like I said, I read 32 pages of this. Thoughts? It's fine so far. The reason why I decided to like not do an immersive read and just listen to the audiobook is because a lot of it's just like her inner thoughts. There's not much dialogue, so that makes it a little hard to stay immersed in the book. So yeah, so that's why I decided just to listen to it, because like I said, it not having much dialogue, it's not keeping me focused on what I'm reading. So yeah, it's okay so far. Oh, I don't think I ever said what this book is about. This is like a alternate history kind of thing of the story of Anne Boleyn. So basically she is beheaded like she is in how she was in real life. And then in this story, she wakes up after she's beheaded with her head on her lap in like a makeshift coffin. She wakes up, sews her head back on, and now she is on the path of revenge to stop Henry from marrying Jane Seymour, his third wife, and murder him. So that's what this is about. So right now, at the point where I am in the book, she is trying to get to where he is. I think that's what's happening. But yeah, that's what this is about. Then the other book that I was reading, I was so close to finishing. I have like an hour-ish left of it. I'm gonna put a picture here because obviously I'm reading it on my Kindle, so I don't have it. So it's called Match Penalty by Kenna Kane. And of Match Penalty, I've read 228 pages. So this is a hockey romance. It's adult, like adult, like he is in the NHL, and then she is the assistant of the GM of the team that he's on. So that's what that's about. So far, thought-wise, it's fine. It's okay. It's pretty spicy though. It started off not so spicy. It got spicy like at the halfway mark, like literally the halfway mark. Just because he broke her trust in the beginning of the book, like because it starts off like I think like a year. So like the first chapter is like in the past, like a year and a half before like the events of the actual book take place, and he broke her trust. So it takes a while for her to trust him again. So that's why it took a while for like there to be any like romantic things happening between the two of them. And that's why it took like it started happening at like the halfway mark. But yeah, for a hockey romance, it's fine. It's nothing like really to write home about, you know. But I am excited to see how the story wraps up. Not sure where I'm gonna finish it. Maybe today. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the other book that I was reading in this 24-hour readathon. Let's total this up. I read 420 pages of The House of Fear, 32 pages of The Petting Game, and 228 pages of Match Penalty. So in total, in the 24 hours, I read 680 pages, which might not be a lot to some people, but for me, that's a lot. I'm a slow reader. And again, I did sleep for like 5 hours. So there's also that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you've read any of these books, let me know in the comments what your thoughts were about it, but without spoiling anything, of course, because we don't want to spoil anything for anybody else. And yep, so that's it. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys here next time on Yari Cards Books. Bye.